all to tell me what information went inside of this diagram, okay? It's very important that you remember. Because you will see this again on the state test. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. You just pay attention and follow me. Okay. This graphic organizer. She had this graphic organizer on the board, right? Remember? What information went in this top box?
A lot.
What was the first thing that you wrote?
A lot. If you want to
Your hook. The first thing. Okay. So we're gonna talk about the hook. And Dominic, what did you use as your hook? Our school uniform's good. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Now, what does your hook help you do? Once you have your hook, what does it help you do? And what else goes in this top box? What other information? You have your hook and then your what? Your paragraph. What is that paragraph called? What is the first paragraph? You're doing what to your whole paper? You're introducing it. So what is this paragraph called? The introduction. So you have your hook and then you'll have your introduction. So you'll use the information from your hook to write your first paragraph. Our school uniform's good. I left the word good off. Thank you. So we know what the hook is and we'll take that information. So you'll start your introduction by answering these questions. Are school uniforms good? And you'll say, yes, school uniforms are good because, and then you'll give me 3 reasons that school uniforms are good, right? So right now, I want you to write down 3 reasons that you can think of that school uniforms would be good for you. Go ahead, Donna. It stops bullying, so write that down. What else does it do? It won't.
You can get dressed more quicker and more time.
You can what?
You can get dressed more quicker.
You can get dressed more quicker. Why? Because you already know what you're going to wear because of the uniform. So let's break it down and make it easier to understand. What can you say instead of saying getting dressed quicker? You already have your clothes picked out because you know that you have to wear the uniform, right? So the night before you get your uniform ready, right? So write down what you're going to say about that. It makes getting ready for school easier. How about that? It makes getting ready for school easier. We'll use that one too, so that's good. We got 3 strong ones. So write down the second one. It makes getting ready for school easier. And for your third one, Dominic said that it costs less. You got the third one? Cost less. Do you have the third one?
It costs less.
That's your third one. Well, the first one, so your third one could be it stops bullying. So we have 3 bits of information now to talk about in our paper, right? These 3 boxes is where you're going to put your information, your reasons for why school uniforms are good, okay? And we're going to put everything up here first. So your introduction will pretty much go like this. School uniforms are good because it helps make going to school easier and safer. That'll be your first sentence. Your second sentence would be, it makes it easier for us to go to school because it doesn't take as much time to get ready in the morning. That's one sentence. We discussed one reason. The next one would be, it costs less. So, and the reason you know it costs less is because parents don't spend as much money on uniforms as they do on buying regular clothes, right? If you buy uniforms, you know you might need 3 blue button-up blue shirts, or what color pants? Khaki pants. Okay. And what color shoes would you probably wear with that outfit? Black or what other color?
Blue shoes.
Black or maybe in the spring, white. So your uniform is basic and simple and it's easy for anybody to be able to buy. It also stops bullying. How does it stop bullying?
Because they can't make fun of you. You have like Walmart clothes and someone else has like very expensive clothes.
Right. They can't bully you because everybody will have on the same color clothes, probably the same clothes because they'll be bought at the same place. You can still buy at Walmart, or you can buy it, say, Bill or JCPenney. The only thing they could probably talk about is your shoes. You're right. Okay, now, this information would all go up here in your introduction, right? And then you'll break down each one of those things. And that's what we just did because we discussed each one of those things. We discussed how it makes, it stops bullying. So we could use that here. It's fine, we'll get it in a minute. So each one of these things will go in one of these boxes so that we can talk about it. And each one of these boxes will turn into a paragraph. So you said stop bullying, and you said it stops bullying because everybody's wearing the same clothes. What else did you say? They can't pick at you because you might have shopped at Walmart. And the only thing they could probably pick at you about is your shoes. So that's 3 sentences along with your topic sentence that will go in this box, and you'll do that for each one of these boxes. What is going to go in this last box? What's the last thing you write about?
The way you put all of it together and put it down.
You will put it all together, but what is this called at the end?
The inclusion.
The what? It's called contrast. It's the end. It's the what? Do you know? Conclusion. Very good. And in the conclusion, what do?
You put everything, you put all the boxes all together.
You pretty much repeat your hook, put it in your own words, and then you talk about these things again. The same things that you discussed in your body, your 3 paragraphs. You'll sum it up and put it in your conclusion. Okay? So who wants to give me an example of what your conclusion would look like? You can give me 1 sentence. I'll get a sentence out of everybody. What would your conclusion look like? If you're gonna repeat, focus, baby. If we're gonna repeat what we said in the hook, how would you start your conclusion out?
You could say
You wouldn't repeat the whole thing. You would just take part of it. Leave R off.
Do you think school uniforms good?
What you could say is, because of our research, we now know that school uniforms are good. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Deja, what do you think? Does that sound like a good sentence to start your conclusion off with? Okay. Because of our research, we now know that school uniforms are good. What's the next sentence that you would use? In the body, what did we talk about?
About it costs less money. It makes good ready for school easier. Stop bullying.
Okay, so let's take stop bullying. How would you word that in your conclusion? Our research shows that.
Stop bullying.
Very good. Okay, and then the next sentence that you could write is also, because you're going to use your transitional phrases, you'll start off with also. It makes what?
It makes
Brody? Makes getting ready for school easier. Could you word that a different way? How? Yes, you could. You don't want to. Let's try wording it a different way.
You could.
Also, it doesn't take as long to do what? Brody, finish the sentence. Also, school uniforms help because we're talking about getting ready for school. Can somebody help him?
Me.
Go ahead.
It also can make get ready for school much easier
Because
because we'll already have this stuff out for you.
very good. That's a good sentence. It's a strong sentence. The next thing that we'll talk about to sum up everything would be what? According to us on the paper. We've talked about bullying. We've talked about it costing less. What would be the next thing? Dominic? Actually, we talked about bullying and making it easier to get ready for school. So what's left? Look here. Look here. It costs less. So give me a sentence using it. And last but not least, using transitional phrases. And last but not least, it costs less, therefore benefiting who? Benefiting who? Who has to buy your clothes?
My mom or your dad.
So they're your what? So your what? It benefits your parents. And by the time you write all that out, you have a complete paper. Let me ask you this. What's the first thing you do when you're writing a paper? What do you put at the top?
You indent.
Let's look at this side. What's the first thing you would do to your paper?
You
Put your name and stuff.
Put your name on it, right? And the date. Then what?
Then use
What's important to put up across the top?
Your title.
your hook.
You want a title or a hook. Okay? So you put that there and then you start with what?
Your paragraph.
Which paragraph?
Your
What did we say goes up here with the hook?
conclude.
Introduction. Your introduction would go up there. And then you'd have 3 paragraphs and they're called what? The body. That's where you give your information. And that last paragraph is your what?
The conclusion.
Conclusion. And the reason that I'm trying to go over each one of these terms with you is if you see those terms on a test, you'll know exactly what they mean, okay? So if you see what goes in the introduction of your paragraph, you won't say information for your body. You'll say you're introducing the paper, right? They ask you what goes in conclusion, what will you say? What are you doing when you're writing a conclusion?
You put everything that you put in your 3 reasons, put it all together.
You pretty much put everything together and sum it up in your conclusion. Okay, good job, y'all. Thank you.